Alright, see how this wire is coming through the back of the box without a romex connector? And the sharp edge could chafe against the romex and cause a short, so we're going to fix that. So we'll unhook our wires from our light switch here. Oh good, I got a nice long screw here. So we'll take our back plate off here. So this is our back plate, and this is a push-in plastic connector. So we'll put it in through our back here, and it just snaps in like this. Like that. And we'll feed our wires through. Open up our loop so we can feed our wires through the so we'll push our wires through the back here. This is hardwood here, so if I try to put a green screw in here, it's just going to push the box out and make it crooked. It'll give us a nice pull and get our jacket into the back of the box here. Tight. Now give us a pull, get our jacket to come into our box. I might have to pry this one open a little bit. That's the best it's going to be. You know what? That's the best it's going to be. So we'll be thankful for it. We'll get our ground wire down here around this screw. I would like to get that jacket in there a little bit better, but if you can't, you can. You don't get all bent out of shape. If you can't do something, it's just, if it's not possible, it's not possible. So you don't get all bent out of shape and upset. We'll try a little bit more. We'll just see if we can pop this up a little bit more and get the jacket to come in a little bit better. There we go. We got our jacket in a little bit better here. Well, that's the best it's going to be, so we're not going to get all bent out of shape. So we'll get our ground wire screwed down, get our box screwed down. So we're going to have to make our ground wire a little longer here, so we'll strip it with our 14 gauge stripper. So we'll bring our wire back around here. It's going to be longer. Okay, so we have our black and our white here. Let's see if it's going to be long enough to go to our switch with this short tail wire we have here. Nope, so we're going to add so we'll get our copper even at the end like this. Put our wire nut on. Hold it until it gets started. Get it nice and even here. Okay, now we'll push our ground wire back against the back of our box here. We have our black and white here to go to our switch. We'll just make sure our screws are tight and our ground is bonded to our box. Okay, we'll get our box on here nice and tight. Make sure we're in our track on both sides here. We'll clip nice new strips here. We'll take off about an inch on both wires here. Make our loops the direction our screw turns. You always go the direction the screw turns. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the bare or the green is the ground. However, you may find white live on a 110, 120 volt switch loop like we have here, or on a 220, 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. So technically we're supposed to put some either red or black tape on this white wire, so I'm going to look and see if we have some. If we have some, we will, but if we don't, we don't. And we're not going to get all upset, we're not going to get all frustrated, because I don't have something, so we're not getting bent out of shape over it. But if I had it, I would remark that white wire live with some black or red tape. So you always put your wire around the screw the direction the screw turns. Make sure it's tight. And that's what you want, connection like that. And we'll get our ground wire around our green screw. Go around our green screw the direction our screw turns. So we'll fold our wires, go down into our box. Okay, so now we'll get our wires to go into our box so they don't stress against anything. So we fold them like an accordion, so when we put them into our box, they're not stressing against anything. And we're going to make sure our screws aren't going to hit any wires here. Here in the country I was born in, up is on, down is off. And if you put the switch in upside down, it will say no rather than on. Just make sure our screws aren't hitting any of our wires. We're going to make sure our ground wires are away from our conductors, and we'll just make sure nothing is pinched here. And we are all set. Just make sure our screws are tight. And we will put a new cover on here when they paint.